What's up, all you beautiful people? Change, transformation is what makes life beautiful. We are meant to change many times throughout our lives, but internal and external pressures often block us. In fact, it's very rare in the modern day to go through the changes that are necessary to live a really fulfilled life, right? We are meant to change and transform many times. This video is on endings and new beginnings. It might be part 2 to an earlier video, but my friends, fear, holding on to, attachment, these things block us from change. Oftentimes we're reaching for more. You know, we want a better life, we want new things, we want more money, a different relationship, all these different things. But the thing is change, my friends. Life is going to call you to change, to transform. It's going to bring you to thresholds in your life. And those thresholds are going to ask, what are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to let go of? What are you willing to endure to return to your true nature, my friends? And from there, new beginnings open up. You see, transformation happens through unbecoming, through going through loss, from facing fear, right? And being able to step into the threshold with courage and faith. You cannot fully inhale if you can't fully exhale. You can't fully live if you can't fully die. My friends, I know many people, myself included, are at big thresholds in their life right now. You know, the stars are asking something new of you. You feel this like rebellion happening in your soul to old patterns, to old ways of being, to going to work, to, you know, you feel maybe your relationship is fading, or it's not working out, or it's time to move on, right? The projects that once enthralled you seem pointless, or you don't have energy for them anymore. You see, we go through these concentric rings of purpose, right? And as we complete one cycle of karma, as we complete one phase of evolution in our lives, it's time to transform, or to let go of the current form in which we created, so that a new form can come through. And this can only happen by accessing the unconscious, by accessing the liminal space of transformation. You see, at these thresholds, let's say you've built this business. You wanted to create financial freedom for yourself, like I did, you know. And you put all this time and work, and you had to create a form. You had to create a constitution that served that end, right? Then all of a sudden you have these things. You have what you wanted, right? You know, and it's no longer the same thing. You're ready for it to transform, whatever it may come into. You know, you're called away. You're at a threshold. The thing is we face a lot of fear at the threshold. Fear of losing what we have in our business and finances and relationships and, you know, whatever it is, any kind of love, any kind of relationship with anything or person. We fear losing it. We fear losing what we created, right? We fear losing this form because we feel safe. We feel secure in the form we created. Our parents, our friends, our family, you know, they all know us by this form, by who we are. But we must have the courage and the faith to let go of who we are so that we can become what we might be, my friends. You are living a saga, a grand story of a master, right? And a life well lived has many changes, has many ups and downs. You put on many faces, you take many forms. In order to take a new form, my friends, a greater form, from the limitlessness, the limitless potential of the unconscious, the limitless potential of the self, to bring forth a new form, we must enter into that liminal space, or that space of you know, letting go, basically. And that brings us to endings, my friends. I know I am facing huge endings in my life. Endings in, how I create videos, endings in my business, endings in my relationship, endings in, the community and the stuff I've been developing for years, endings even where I live. Massive endings. And with that comes a lot of fear of the unknown and a lot of pain of loss, a lot of suffering. To the degree you love something or someone is the degree you will suffer, my friends. But fear not, because that suffering and that love, those two polarities make life interesting. But furthermore, to be able to end a cycle of karma, to be able to end a form, right? We must learn to enjoy the suffering, to enjoy the loss, to welcome in the grief with open arms, to enjoy loss as much as gain. That's how we can face endings, my friends. And the thing is we got to get good at this. We got to get good at change. And the thing is we are not conditioned to do this. We're not taught to do this. We're not supported in this type of initiation, in this type of change. Because it's hard, right? But the thing is if the snake cannot shed its skin, the snake will surely die, right? You are meant to shed your skin, my friends. And advice here, what I've had to learn over this past year, through this like soul rebellion, through these internal pulls to something new, to something more I cannot see, I've had to learn to finish impeccably. I finished this clean draft of my book. I've, really just like finished impeccably in areas of your life so that you're ready and able to enter into the unknown, to enter into the space of creation, my friends, to let go. And now I'm learning to enjoy pain, to enjoy loss, because that's where the light enters, right? From your deepest grief will come your deepest fire for life. From your deepest sorrow will come your deepest joy. And the thing is change, all of a sudden your emotions were going like this, and then it's like, right? But it makes life interesting. And that's the thing is like I was saying, suffering and love go hand in hand. And if we do not embrace the suffering, if we are not willing to face the fear, to face the pain, right? We're not going to open the space for great love to enter. If we cannot let go of what we created, of what we're holding on to, we cannot create the space for a great manifestation to enter. New beginnings, transformation, thresholds are not so much about what you're stepping into, it's more so about what you're letting go of, so that you can enter that space of limitless potential and come forth anew, right? When you have the space in your life and your actions, your thoughts, your words, your feelings communicate to the universe that you are ready for something new, that you have the space for something new, something greater will enter. A new form will start to take shape. And my friends, that's where the magic of life re-enters. I'm sure you felt like life is so magical before. And then all of a sudden you take on a new form, you met a person, you got in a relationship, you started a business, or you got a job, or you put down roots, you found some security. Life becomes a little bit more mundane until you reach the ending of a cycle, right? And through that ending, it's a time to return to our true nature. It's time to rediscover the essential spark, the essential soul that you are, right? So that can guide you, so that you can be guided from the core. Oftentimes, new beginnings, you might get a flash of inspiration, like, oh, I'm supposed to move to Hawaii and start this healing center, or I'm supposed to like get a new job in this location, or, it may come to you, in a flash of inspiration. It may be very clear to you what the new beginning is about. But other times, it's about not doing. It's about not being. It's about returning to your nature. It's about letting go. It's about enjoying and embracing pain. And all of a sudden, the stuff that has clogged your consciousness for so long, the patterns, the addictions, the habits, the people, the things, the projects, all those things start to fade. And your true song starts to come through. Thresholds take a lot of faith and a lot of courage. A lot of faith in the story of your life. A lot of faith in the universe. A lot of faith that there is something great trying to be birthed through you. right? It takes a zoomed out perspective to face the fear holding patterns, to face the fear of letting go, the fear of pain, the fear of loss, the fear of what they might think, right? It takes a zoomed out perspective to realize that this life is yours to live and yours to create, that you are free. When are you going to learn that you are already free, my friends? A lot of faith and a lot of courage. It's another video on endings and new beginnings. It's Reality Files. I'm Christian. If you want to talk to me one-on-one, there's a link in the description where you can apply for a free session with me. You know, I love to inspire and empower people through the great transitions of their life. Furthermore, if you enjoyed this video, if you resonate, please hit that like button, drop a comment below, and share this message with someone you think it will impact. You can find me on Patreon. You can find me on Instagram. Thanks for being here, my friends. Peace.